everybody, it's Alan Thomas, aka Shadow Assassins, and today I'm showing off a brand new fighting game painting. This one was a bit nostalgic to paint. I painted Johnny Cage, but I specifically painted Daniel Pesina, Master Pesina himself, as Johnny Cage. For anyone who's not aware, in which case, shame on you, number one. Just kidding. But for anyone that doesn't know who Daniel Pesina is, he was the original actor, or I guess digitized actor, for Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. He also played Johnny Cage in most of the, I think, all of the live touring for Mortal Kombat for the original 2 games, which was a lot of work. I believe they were traveling across the world doing those tours. So yeah, the face of Johnny Cage and, well, everything Johnny Cage that you saw in the original 2 games in the 90s were all Daniel Pesina. And I don't know why. I was playing a lot of, as a lot of the times, most of my inspiration from different paintings and stuff just come from things that I've been watching recently or games that I've been playing. So I was playing the arcade collection of Mortal Kombat 1, and I decided to just go ahead and draw Johnny Cage, because outside of the little Mortal Kombat 1 tribute that I did about 3 years ago, wow, it's a while at this point, about 3 years ago, doesn't even feel like that long, but that's the only time I think I've painted Johnny Cage on this channel. So I went ahead and decided to paint Johnny Cage, but then just to throw a bit of a monkey wrench in this for myself, I wanted to go ahead and paint him as Daniel Pesina. So I actually used, I'm not gonna sit up here and even lie, I had a photo of Johnny Cage. I had a photo of Daniel Pesina as a reference. I found a picture of him online, just posed with his glasses, and I decided to change it up a bit and make it look more Johnny Cage like. And I also cheated, and I threw in my the background that I painted in that Mortal Kombat tribute from a couple years ago of the pit. I went ahead and reused that painting as the background for this one, which I may show off at the end of this picture itself. So yeah, I took a shortcut there, but it looks nice overall, doesn't it? And that's only because I couldn't really think of a background to put in this picture. It's like I didn't want to just use flash bulbs like they had in the original Mortal Kombat game. Well, now that I think about it, that might have been pretty cool, but I also thought that would have been way too lazy and too bland of a picture. I may go back at a later date and change it up. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. The picture that I have on my website, when I upload this, and it should be within the next couple days or so, I'll try to get it up today if I can. But when I update my website, I'll probably put up the flashbulb Johnny Cage photo instead. Then again, I may actually do both, who knows. But yeah, that's my Johnny Cage picture, at least what you're currently seeing during this video. In other news, actually have been doing a lot of work trying to get my buffer back up for my webcomic. It's amazing how quickly you start to run out of your buffer. I had one day where I did not work on my comic and I got so far behind, so I really have to sort of get myself into gear and make sure that I get to working on my comics so that I can get my buffer back up and make sure I can get content out every week like I'm supposed to, which I haven't missed a weekly update yet, and I don't plan on doing so, so I really need to get that buffer back up, which my comic is also starting to get really interesting at this point, so go ahead and check it out. I got a link in the description, The Infinite Uppercut. Very ridiculous comic, inspired by most of my favorite fighting games that I loved playing as a kid. Speaking of fighting games, sticking to Mortal Kombat for a second, I watched the C2E2 conference last Friday. I saw the Noob Saibot reveal, which Noob looks awesome for the new game, and I also saw the reveal for the Crypt in the new game, which I'm thinking is going to be like an action-adventure type thing, but at the same time, I don't know, it looks very robust this time around, and it's taking place on Shang Tsung's island, so I'm not sure what is going to be in store this year for the Crypt. I hope there are no jump scares this time, because I'm sick of those being in these Mortal Kombat games. But in any event, with the Crypt taking place on Shang Tsung's island, they actually showed Shang Tsung, who was DLC for the new game. He's actually they used the likeness of Kerry Tagawa, who played Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat movie. He is Shang Tsung in the new game. I think that is absolutely amazing. And that was actually rumored months ago, but like a lot of these Mortal Kombat rumors, I just take it with a grain of salt until they get confirmed. Like with a lot of these roster leaks that have come out, and I'm not getting into that right now. But that was pretty big news from this past week. I also, in working on my webcomic, I had My Hero Academia playing in the background for a lot of that, and when I would take breaks, I would just catch up on the show a little bit. And I'm finally all caught up. I've watched, well, not all caught up, but I've watched season 2, and I know that season 3 is currently out, or at least ongoing, but it's not dubbed yet, or at least I couldn't find the dub of season 3, if it does exist. I'm not going to watch it until I find the dub, because I've pretty much fallen in love with the English version of My Hero Academia, so I'm not gonna go ahead and do like I do with most anime and watch the Japanese subtitle version. I've sort of started this show getting hooked on the English dub, and I'm gonna, at least for right now, I'm gonna try and hold out and just wait for the English dub of the 3rd season to come out before I continue watching. I'm probably not gonna make it. I also did this with Naruto when I first discovered it years ago, probably about a little over a decade ago when I discovered Naruto. I started watching the English version, and when I ran out of episodes to watch in English, but there were so many of the Japanese subtitle versions that were out, because of course it's ahead of schedule in Japan, I just started watching those because I couldn't contain myself. I'm probably gonna do that here, but since the show is fresh in my mind and I like the English voice acting for the show, I think I'm gonna wait. But yeah, that show is absolutely amazing. I'll probably have some My Hero Academia paintings on this channel at some point in the future. But I also have quite a few different paintings that I want to draw in the next couple days or so. On top of actually updating my webcomic, I'll probably have some videos of me working on my comic in the next couple of days. And I also probably have a couple more Mortal Kombat drawings and some pro wrestling inspired drawings, which a lot of wrestling news. For the first time, the main event of Wrestlemania this year is actually going to be a women's championship match, which is awesome and very interesting to see how they do in the main event. I believe next week. God, Wrestlemania has really creeped up on me. And in other news, I also just found out that the Hart Foundation is going into the Hall of Fame. So we're gonna have 3 two-time Hall of Famers in next week's Hall of Fame class, which is a clear-cut sign to me that the WWE is running out of people to put in the Hall. So Brett's gonna be going into the Hall 2 times. Booker T's gonna be going in the Hall 2 times, which spoilers, but I'm probably gonna do a Harlem Heat painting at some point this week. And Shawn Michaels is gonna go into the Hall 2 times. So yeah, interesting Hall of Fame, interesting WrestleMania. I'm torn on that main event too. While I'm happy that the women are gonna be main eventing WrestleMania, I'm also a little disappointed because I was hoping that Seth and Brock would get the main event, only because I feel like Seth Rollins has practically killed himself for WWE in the past year so much that I really wanted him to get this main event. But it doesn't matter. The match would be good anyways. It'll be what it is, whatever that means. And I was also hoping that Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan could somehow weasel their way into the WrestleMania main event, given how much people are actually looking forward to this match now, which I feel like SmackDown isn't being given nowhere near as much respect as it should be for Mania. I actually saw WWE post something that was talking about which match should main event, the Universal title or the Raw Women's Championship. And while I get that both matches are the matches with the Royal Rumble winners in it, it's like the lack of respect for SmackDown just bothers me. Especially considering that at least for me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, SmackDown is easily the more watchable show between that and Monday Night Raw. Like, I can't even sit through the Hulu versions of Monday Night Raw, and those are only 90 minutes. So I just wish SmackDown got more love. But in any event, I'm not gonna get into a negative wrestling rant because there's too much stuff that's awesome going on in pro wrestling right now for me to get happy about, including apparently All Elite Wrestling is getting a video game made, or in talks of getting a video game made, which blows my mind because they don't have a full roster of wrestlers yet, and they don't have a television show. So this is mind-blowing to me. But in any event, when I came across that just, like, I don't even know what to make out of that. But whatever. More wrestling games to play, the happier I am. I just hope it's good. That's about it for today. At least just talking about some of the happenings that I've seen and been doing for the past couple of days, which for the most part I've been doing a lot of drawing and painting the last, I'd say, 5 to 6 days, almost a full week. But yeah, I'll have a lot more content coming out this week than I did last week. Of course, I believe I only had one video posted on my channel last week for all the work that I've been doing. But I'll have more stuff to upload later on this week, a few more paintings that I'll be getting done, and I'll probably have a webcomic post at some point, at least a video showing the painting of my webcomic, at least this week's updates. I'll try to get them up sometime this week. I don't know, I'll see. But I'll catch you all later. Go ahead, check out my website if you're interested in purchasing any of my artwork. Also check out my webcomics, the links are in the description. And you all have a good one, and I'm out.